All right, guys, this is my update video for the month of June. I know it's late, but there's a lot of things I want to get to because there are things that are going on I need to talk to you guys about. First, I want to talk about, like I do in all the update videos, is shaving bats. There is a solution someone came up with, Jason Torres, about compression testing bats. Well, I had seen in there where he's starting to weigh bats too. Because the one thing, and I've talked to people about this, is when you shave a bat, you actually taking weight out of the bat. So they've got to find a way, either put weight in the bat or just leave it with and put the cap on it, back on it, or have another cap that they put on it. So, I seen where he was weighing some bats, and I thought that was great because a lot of those bats were coming in at, a 26 ounce was coming in at a 24 ounce, And here's the deal, and I've weighed a lot of bats. A bat will, when you have the tape on a bat, it will usually be the 26 ounce. Let's say you have a 26 ounce bat. When you have that tape on the bat, the handle tape, the grip, it will be 26 ounces. And usually taking that grip off takes 0.5, half an ounce off. So it'll be a 25.5. So whenever you're weighing bats and you're coming up with an ounce and a half less, that's a red flag that bat's probably been shaved. It's not a definite, but it's just a red flag, and you can kick that bat out, plus compression testing too. But there's ways to get around compression testing, especially if it's a brand new shaved bat. It'll actually compression test pretty high. So I want to bring this up because it is a problem, guys, and I think the only way to get it corrected is if the bat manufacturers run a chip in the end cap or doing rollover ends on every bat out there. But then again, they'd have to change the machines. That's money. They're not going to put money back in to actually changing all the machines that actually make these bats. There's some videos I have coming out. One's on Tonka Ali. And guys, I've always talked about testosterone boosters. And this is a product out there. It's made from a plant that actually will increase testosterone. And they're talking about, 50%, which is actually pretty high. But if you guys have low testosterone, I would suggest that you go to a doctor, have them give you a prescription for TRT, testosterone replacement therapy. Because if you have your numbers in the 500, 600, that's okay. If you can take the Tonka Ali, it's going to increase it a little bit. I'm going to do a separate video on that. I'm just telling you about right now. There's actually, and I put this in the last videos, there's Walgreens out there that do testosterone testing to check to see if you have testosterone. If you're low, then go to your doctor and talk to him about it. I want to do a whole separate video on umpires because I want to go on a rant about umpires, and it's good and it's bad. I see all these social media or even on TV, or on YouTube where they talk about umpires getting abused so bad that they're just quitting, they're just leaving and quitting. And because the parents in the stands are just so brutal, but everything that I've read on it's almost like a one-sided thing. Like they're blaming the parents for just ripping the umpires to shreds. And poor umpire, he walks off and that's it, he's done. I have some thoughts on all of that, and I want to kind of do a separate video to give you guys my 2 cents on what I think. Not a big fan, guys, and you've known this in the past with bad umpires. Great umpires, yes. Good umpires, yes. It's just I can tell you some stories, man, where a lot of umpires out there just have chips on their shoulder and they're just looking for shit to just bust your ass on. Those are the guys. And I was a pitcher for 30-something years, 32 years, pitching U-trip only. That's all I did to the highest level. So I've had my fair share of arguing with umpires, and there's some good ones and there's some bad ones. I think the best umpire out there is an ex-softball player that wants to make money on the side, but that's the deal about the money thing that I want to talk about in that video. And it's kind of like I'm going to be trashing some umpires, and I'm going to be congratulating some umpires on how they handled a lot of things in that video that I want to put out. There is another video I want to put out on non-technique theory. Me and Billy were hitting balls the other day, and we came up with this, and I want to do a separate video, and it's kind of It's kind of the way we gauge our bats, the way we put our top 10, you know, on my website, and that's actually changed right now. If you guys go up there and look, it's www.seniorsoftballbatreviews.com. It's all one word. That has actually changed the front of it if you guys go up there and look. So it's non-technique theory. It's a theory that me and Billy have on how we actually gauge our top 10. And it's just like a puzzle. It's a piece of a chain, like a piece of a link. And it actually goes into everything, and then we calculate on if this bat it can make the top 10. The problem we're having right now, and I'll get to it right now, is we have so many bats out there that are high performing bats that I'm gonna have to change, you know, the way, because a lot of them are just the same as, you know, like I've been doing this Anarchy 50 cal, which is the 12-inch barrel, and I'm done with the review. I just got to post it, the video, and it'll be probably coming up right after this video on the news and update video. But I like that bat. I like the way that bat performs, but it performs as good as, you know, a lot of other bats out there. So what I'm going to have to start doing is my top 10 is going to be, you know, because we have so many good bats. It can't be a number 1 through 10. There's got to be, you know, 3 number 5s. You know, I'm just saying, you know, 2 number 1s, you know, because they compare really close to each other. I'm not saying that's where I'm gonna put it. I'm just saying that I'm gonna have to put a list, like number 1 is this bat, because there are so many bats that I can't pick because of the technology, and everybody's getting it now. A lot of the bat manufacturers, because there's so many bats. I got a new bat that just came out the other day. That's this one here, okay? This bat came out the other day. So a lot of other bat companies are jumping in because they want a piece of the pie. And it's tough on us because they're all good. A lot of them are good, but we've got to pick and then piss a lot of you guys off because that's not my number 1. Well, it's just our opinion. That's we're just giving, you know, putting that out there for you guys. I've been wanting to do a video on this, and I kind of want to talk about it. It's I was on the message board a while back, and somebody was talking about this person is taking Viagra to help his performance when he plays softball, a senior player. And I've done a little research on that in the past because I have done weightlifting. I talk to a lot of people. That's my biggest, the way I get a lot of this information is I talk to a lot of people. And I want to get into Viagra and Cialis video, where I want to talk to you guys on what it actually does for you. Don't know if you guys know this or not, but it was actually found out to be a stimulant for men because they were trying it out on heart patients for their heart. And Viagra and Cialis is actually good for your heart. But I want to get into that and tell you actually what it is good for, different parts of the body that it's good for. And does it actually is a performance enhancing drug, like a lot of you guys were talking about. And I kind of laughed. I want to get into that the way I would want to get into it, not the way a lot of other people. But I want to go into that and set the record straight on what that stuff really does for you as a performance enhancer. I am selling a few bats on eBay. Billy gave me some bats, a few of them are prototypes from his 1-piece and his 2-piece, and I've been putting those up there. He has actually given me a couple of bats. He's not going to do this on a lot of them, but you can see this is one of his 1-piece bats that he's actually signed. And I'm going to put those for Billy up on eBay. And that's a used one right there. It's a 27 ounce. And it was one of the first ones we got. And then I have a new one that he's going to sign too. There's only going to be like a couple of them. And I don't know if he's going to keep doing this. I don't think he is, because he doesn't want to get into that. But I think for the people that have followed him through the years would like a signature bat. And what better way to sell it on eBay instead of, you know, putting it on my website or something. Now let me talk about bats. I'm going to talk about the bats that aren't here with me right now. Paul Sadler called yesterday because they have a new Demarini out. They have a few new Demarinis out. And he usually calls me up and asks me if I'd be interested in doing a review on them. I pick out the ones that I want and he sends them to me to do a review on. So Demarini, stay tuned for that video coming out. Dudley, Miken asked me for my address yesterday. So a lot of new bats coming out, guys, summertime. Usually at the summertime, at the end of the year, a lot of new bats could come out. Dudley is going to have bats shipping to me because usually when Mike McCarron asks for my address, it's usually he's gonna send me some bats. The bats that we're working on right now, I'm gonna show you guys some. The 50 cal, the Anarchy, this is it right here. We're done with this review. This bat, guys, it's probably got about 800 swings on it right now. It's broke in. You can hear it in our recent video on how it sounds. Sounds like a shotgun barrel, soft on it. It makes a different sound than any bat out there, and the ball flies. If you guys watched the review I did on the Anarchy 50 cal 13 inch, that bat is performing very well, and it actually ranked high in my top 5. This is the 12 inch, and this bat will rank high in my top 5. Love this bat, love the way it performs. Here's the deal with the Anarchy and even the Old Smash, and I said that in a video, and you guys, you know, probably didn't watch it at the beginning that aren't interested in the Anarchy. But let me tell you about the Anarchy product. They're not hot out of the wrapper. You can't go out there and just start blasting it. It's gonna take a while to get that bat to open up, and when it does, it gets soft, not too soft. We tested them 175, 180, compression testing on them. The Old Smash was like a monster at the end. It actually hit like 3 different tiers. And once we got into it, 300, 350 swings, it started like on fire, like it was really good. The 50 cals, both of them, they hit 3 different tiers. This one is at its last tier. I don't know how long we have on it, how many more swings we're gonna get on it. I'll let you guys know that later. And that's the 50 cal. Love that bat, the way it performs. We'll talk about that in a minute. These two. The Blake 2-piece. This is it right here. This is the Blake 2-piece. It just came out with this bat. If you guys watched videos of us swinging this recently, bat is hot. Love the way it performs. I can't talk too much about it, but I will tell you this. Once we started hitting it within 10 swings, you guys remember the first batch Onyx, when you first started swinging them, you got the striations in them? Like you got the stress fractures, I call them striations, whatever. But you would get long ones. Well, that's what happens to this bat right here. It actually got the striations, the long striations, but they were pretty far apart within 10 to 15 swings. Guys, within 100, 150 swings, this bat was hot. It got there quick and it's staying there. We haven't cracked one yet. We've got like 8 or 9 of them that we actually give to the guys to swing. What we're going to do is have those bats broke in. You guys can hear me talking on the video. I don't like breaking bats in. It's just hard on us older guys, I guess. I'd rather give it to one of the younger 50-year-old guys, 40-year-old guys to swing, break it in for me and watch him, the way he breaks it in. But you're gonna see some video of us swinging this bat. We like hitting that bat right there. If you guys ever have a chance to pick one up from an Onyx booth or go out and swing it, guys, you will not be disappointed when you swing that bat. Like I said, the striations on it get there quick. And once they start, like you can see them, it starts with 1 or 2 lines. And then once they start getting more and more lines on it, it'll actually be like really good and making that good sound. There are some other bats coming up before I talk about this other bat right here. That's it right there. Before I talk, there's some other bats coming out. Miken has an Ultra 12 inch, the red one you guys see a lot of people swinging. I want to get a hold of that. Hope it's like the Johnny Bailey that I don't know why they didn't get out under his name this year, but the Miken Ultra 12 inch 2-piece bat. The Worth Creature, I'm actually going to order those tomorrow, the Miken Ultra 12 and the Worth Creature. I've heard a lot of good things. Buddies of mine are telling me. Kirby Murphy actually talked to me about that bat. He talked to me about the Easton too. That's Benji though. Benji wants to come down and hit the Easton with me. Okay. I think that's it. I'm looking at my computer right now to make sure I got everything. and then my paperwork, and then I'm gonna talk about the new bat that's out right now. I got a phone call the other day. The Premier, the IKONIC, this is it right here. You guys can see it, it's a Premier. It's a new bat company out of Florida. I didn't get too much information from him. I really didn't want to know too much. That's a 13-inch barrel two-piece. From what I hear, he's actually making a balanced bat right now, and I think he's gonna do a 12-inch later. First, let me tell you about this bat. It's got me puzzled because we first started swinging it, and the information that I got about it was pretty hot. After about 100 swings, that it got pretty hot. Well, it's hard when you first start swinging it. It doesn't flex in the hands after about 50 swings. Hands started loosening up about 100. Barrel stayed the same. The barrel stayed the same about 100, 150. I think right now we've got close to 160 on it right now. Barrel still has not loosened up. But let me tell you guys, if this bat, and you can hear me in behind the scenes video, if this bat loosens up, I cannot wait. But being that it's a new bat company, I don't know what it's gonna do, because I've grabbed bats for the last 13 years that stayed hard through 500, 600 swings, and then all of a sudden they loosen up. I've had bats that stay hard 100 swings and then they loosen up. But had bats in the middle, 200, 300 swings, and then all of a sudden they start loosening up. I've had bats that don't even loosen up. But when you hit it with this bat, it flies, but it makes a hard sound. And I've never had a bat that does that makes that hard tinking sound. And then all of a sudden when you hit it, it just goes. Haven't got that extra gear yet that I'm looking for, like in the Blake bat. One thing about the Blake bat that I've never had in any bat out there is the extra gear. And if you guys look at the videos of us hitting it, I actually am constantly saying it stays in the air longer than any bat we've ever had. That's the Blake bat. But this one, it's getting there. We're just gonna have to, and I said this in the video when I put it out, we're gonna give it up 4 videos, because I really want to take my time on this bat and let you guys know what I think about it. Now, Onyx. I gotta go to my computer on this. Enough said. The white ones, the 1-piece, 2-piece, the 13-inch barrel, I have taken them off of my top 10. And guys, this has only happened to me 5 times maybe in the 13 years I've been doing this. And it always have happened to the top tier bats. Dudley, Suncoast, it was Adidas back in the day too. I did it to a Suncoast. Dudley a couple of times. I've done it to Adidas a couple of times. And then I've done it to, I don't think I've ever done it to a Miken. But what I'm gonna do is redo videos. I've been getting a lot of you guys, David recently from Florida, had some nice words to say, had some not too nice words to say. But when you guys, see, when I do reviews, I do it on the first batch, let you guys know. I don't wait for the second batch because that's too far away. Or if there even is a second batch on a lot of these bats, because a lot of you guys are starting to, a lot of bat companies and guys are starting to do 300 at a time, 400 at a time. They don't do the, 3,000 anymore, right? So they're starting to do first batch 300, first batch 500, something like that, what they put them out there. Well, I wait, the first batch I do a run on. Well, I do my top 10, I do my videos by that. But what happens to a few, what a lot of people might think, that second batch isn't as good as the first batch. And this has happened in the past too, guys, or the third batch isn't as good as the second batch or the first batch. So what I do is I do redo videos. I do redo reviews on these bats. I've gotten, and it usually happens when I've gotten enough emails, messages, and saying, Dave, my new Onyx is not performing like you said it was. What's the deal? I don't know what the deal is. Nobody tells me. I moved on to the next 2 bats by the time this happens. So what I usually do is I hear the minions talking to me and you guys out there, and I do a redo video. So that's what I'm gonna do. This is a 1-piece 12-inch. So basically I'm gonna do a redo video on these bats. The 2-piece I'm gonna do too. That was ranked at number 2. This is another one too, the Johnny Blaze, the one that I ranked at #1 that was out there. I'm gonna do a redo video on this because what they're telling me, a lot of people out there are telling me, you see that right there? That was on like the 3rd batch. Carlos started putting those where a lot of my minions out there are going, Dave, there's something wrong with that batch. And it's not even on that one. It's just not on, this is the El Rey, which I'm doing a review on the El Rey too. And you guys can see some of the video on that. But the El Rey has it right there too on this bat. Haven't gotten done with that one too. And then here's the Robbie Ramirez bloodline. And guys, there it is too. It's on that one. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep swinging those. It's just taking a long time to get there with this bloodline. The barrel's not loosening up for us. And the El Rey too. But what I'm gonna do is, I think that's him. What I'm gonna do with the Onyx is a lot of you guys, I've heard you, and a lot of you guys have told me, and usually what happens whenever this happens, and a lot of you guys go, Dave, you're gonna have to go back. And it's not a lot of you guys are thinking it's the breakage issue. And I kind of did a funny meme the other day on Facebook with Tom Hanks, Forrest Gump, saying, and just like that, no bats are cracking anymore. Well, it's 100 degrees outside, so you're not gonna get a lot of breakage or crackage during this time of year. It's usually during the wintertime, fall and early spring, where everybody starts posting their cracked bats on Facebook, but we don't see any anymore. Wonder why. But it's not because of the cracking, it's actually because of performance that I'm getting a lot of these guys that are talking to me and going, hey, mine's not performing like you said it was going to. So what happens, and this has happened in the past, guys, I usually go out and get the bats again. And it doesn't take long because I remember what they did in the first run, and I'll get up there and start swinging them. And then I'll have my guys that did the first video, and I have them out there, and they're gonna tell me really fast if it's the same bat. And then I'm gonna relay that information via video back to you guys. But I've heard you guys, I've heard you talk about, you know what, a buddy of mine that, Donnie King, he had a 12-inch one piece that I thought was a very hot bat from the Onyx. Well, he gave it to me and says, hey, can you get rid of this for me? It's just not performing. I'm looking at him like, damn, that #1 at one time. So I looked at it, and I said, how many swings you got on this thing? He said, about 150, but it never opened up on me. And I'm saying, shit, mine opened up. The brand new one opened up within 50 swings. So that was a little bit of a red flag, but when I can come home, and it's a Saturday night, and that's the reason I'm putting this video out on a Saturday night, is I started looking at all my messages, and David from Florida messaged me and said, man, we're disappointed. A lot of guys down here are disappointed in your review, on the Onyx, 12-inch and 12-inch and a one-piece and two-piece. It's not performing. And I started asking him, is it the one with the serial numbers on them? He never answered me back, but I wanted to do this video to let you guys know I'm redoing that. I actually took them off my top 10 until I do the review. And if it's the same, I'll put them back up there. If not, I'm going to move them wherever I need to move them. But I've done this in the past, guys. It's no big deal. I've done it in the past where a lot of you guys will get a hold of me and go, Dave, this ain't like the first batch. And I know a lot of you guys didn't get that first batch because he sold so many bats because the first batch was really good. I'm not saying he changed anything. I'm not. But I'm going to damn well find out if he did. And that's why I do this. I did it with other bat companies in the past. But those are just a few of the things that I'm going to work on in these next couple of months. And there are bats out there. I get text messages every other day of you guys asking me about, did you hear about this bat company or did you hear about that? But I got so much on my plate right now. I mean, you guys can see all them bats here, and I've got a lot of these bats over here that I'm actually working on. And I'm doing video right here. This is next to my kitchen anyway, kitchen counter. So I want to let you guys know I'm going to look back into the Onyx bats and make sure that they're the same as when we first started swinging them the first batch. And if they're not, I'll let you guys know. Thanks, guys.
Guys, if you like this video, please hit the like button, and I've got a couple more here for you to watch, and I've also got a subscribe button, so hit on it and then hit the bell. That way you get notifications whenever I put out another video. Thanks, guys.